Everyone has those moments of self-doubt, but when those moments turn into delays and constant self-defeat, then maybe there's something more serious goes on that needs to be addressed. Our next guest is licensed counselor Sharonda Brown, who's leading the upcoming workshop to address how to stop defeating yourself. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So just briefly, tell me a bit about this workshop, how you even came about the idea of creating it.
Well, the workshop is a debut to my mental health assessment. It's called the BSAS, the Brown Self-Awareness Survey. And basically, it teaches you about self-sabotaging behaviors that we all engage in every day, how to treat them, how to cope with them, how to identify them. I give strategies and tools for how to teach people how to get out of their way, hence the title of the workshop. And it's for professionals. It can be for regular, people who are not clinicians as well, because I think it benefits everybody. But the idea is to learn things about yourself that kind of prevents you from, maintaining your long-term goals, whatever that may be.
Okay, so are these behaviors, the reason why you created the workshop, things that you see every day in all of your patients?
Absolutely. I've been in the mental health field for 19 years, and I've been in private practice for 8.5 years. And during those times, I've diagnosed many clients. And as I unravel the diagnosis, I find that there are these underlying issues that everybody tends to have, or the majority of them tends to have, and they're all very similar. So I used those behaviors that I identified to create this assessment because I thought it'd be beneficial to clinicians to be able to identify them in their, clients prior to treatment planning or prior to diagnosing.
You mentioned, as you were talking about the workshop when you were introducing it, that health professionals could get credit for it. What does that mean when a health professional needs credit?
If you're a licensed clinician, you basically have to get continuing education units in order to maintain your license. And so depending upon you're governed by the social workers or you're governed by professional counselors, you have so many units that you have to get for renewal every year. So I offer 3.5 for this workshop for social workers and counselors and case managers in the state of Missouri.
So it is open to the public, though. If someone has an interest in maybe self-diagnosis, they can show up.
Absolutely. It is open to the public. They can come. They can take the assessment. Now, they may not be able to have access to the assessment the way the clinicians will, but they can take the assessment, get some ideas about their behaviors, learn some skills, some strategies and tools to help them in their everyday lives. And then I also have a life coach that will be coming with me, because then she can be a resource for those who not quite ready for counseling yet, but would like some help in getting out of their way.
So if someone does not have a history of mental health, can they develop some of these self-defeating behaviors later in life?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that these behaviors, it's not that deep. It starts way before the mental health issues. And so I think the idea is to prevent it and being proactive and not reactive. So these are behaviors that we engage in every single day that ultimately leads to mental health.
So do you think a lot of these behaviors are a result of relationships we have, that's maybe where it begins, and then it kind of snowballs from there?
Yeah, I strongly believe that, there are 3 components to, a person that makes them successful as adults. And that's dependent upon their sense of intimacy that they receive, their emotional safety and physical safety, as well as their physical needs being met. And I think that if those 3 things aren't successfully handled, then they will develop some serious issues. And those things start with your family. So I do think that contributes a lot to the relationships that we have.
Okay, well, we'll talk more about this, and especially about the workshop, because that's definitely what we want people to do.
Yeah.
Just after this, so stay with us right here at STL Live. We'll be back again with Sharonda Brown in the workshop.